Well, we're just coming up onto a property here this morning, property by the name of Spring Hills, just out here at, actually it's right in the back of Parkhurst. It's 1,270 acres approximately. We'll just go in now and have a look through the property. The property has a livable shed on it, as you can see there, and the shed's quite close to the yard. All the facilities, power's connected to the shed, and as you can see there, there's quite a good cool area in the working area of the yards. We'll go and have a closer look at that in a minute. Just looking here now, we're looking across the back towards the western side of the block. You can see in there nice low undulating country, all cleared, basically, you know, the right sort of tree cover, and it comes right back on the southern boundary. We're just coming back onto that now. We'll go back up onto the southwestern boundary in a minute. But I just want to draw your attention to this side over here, and looking at those volcanic plugs out there, beautiful views. I would say that on this place, if ever it was handled for subdivision, you would probably get around about 40% of it would have views, either rural views and or some city views. But as you can see, really good rural views. Looking back out across those volcanic plugs, just a little bit misty this morning, but you can see what I'm talking about. Spring Hills has got an abundance of water all across the property, and there's a bore that does around 3,000 gallons an hour, which pumps up to that tank there on that hill over there, and from there gravity feeds out to some troughs around the property, and but also too in the creeks there's semi-permanent springs and permanent springs around the creeks all around the property. It's a very well watered place. This is looking out over the property from basically it's the southwestern corner of the property, looking back over the rest of the place. And what you're seeing in front of the camera there is basically the property. And this hill here would for a developer developing this country, all that beautiful country down in there, this would be a great reservoir site. One or two reservoirs. Now you can see once again, if you look out there to the distance, you can see the volcanic plugs that I've been telling you about. Beautiful rural view. That's what I've been talking to you about with regard to you won't get a rural view like that anywhere. And I'll show you looking back over Rockhampton there. That's the tower there, the telecom tower, and that's just up behind the Parkhurst Tavern. It's around about, what'd you say, right about a kilometre, K and a half from the Parkhurst Tavern. So I'll give you an idea whereabouts around. That hill's just adjacent to this property here. This solar panel and pump here, obviously down that bore there's a electric motor and submersible pump. That bore is capable of producing and supplying up to 8,000 gallons an hour. It's pumping around about 3,000 gallons a day now to supply the tank up on the hill I showed you just. And just once again here, guys, looking at the back across, this is on the sort of the south-western side of the property, and you can see there the houses. Now those houses, the boundary is sort of just down from where we are here now, and those houses are just across from there, so it'll give you an idea just how close we are to the city development that's happening now in northern Rockhampton. So and I'll just go along here and you'll see there's some more houses between those two bits of hills there. I'll just zoom up on that for you so you can get a better look at it. But in there, that's Olive Estate in there that you can see the top end of, and over the back of that hill there's houses in behind there, and as you can see as we come back here there's houses back through there as well.
That's Boundary Park.
Yeah, Paramount Park, that's what we're looking at just there, and if you have another look back over a bit further there, I'll just come round, that's the magnesite plant over there. That's at Parkhurst. So that'll give you a good idea, and once again I'll just zoom up on that tower up on top of the hill. There it is there. That's just 1.5 km from the Parkhurst Tavern. That'll give you some good landmarks. This property basically runs, you come around and it comes back into the back of the Rockhampton development. Now we're looking here now, we're looking through to the northwest and north of the property, and that pocket you're looking at back in through there, that's probably got the most regrowth on it, or actually not regrowth, most of it, a lot of it's just seedling, and the vendor is going to do a bit of dozer work on that this year sometime. And then looking back out that way there, as you can see, we're back out to the volcanic plug, so there's some really good views. Look at it, and this country once again, even though it is a bit steeper in places, but by the same token, looking at the way the lay of the land would develop very well. Inside the shed hereby is a good comfortable place if you just want a weekender, or if you want someone just to put a van in the shed here, and or just live in the quarters there. There's a couple of bedrooms there and a toilet and shower, and place here to park your equipment and so forth. Very handy. There's a good set of cattle yards here on the property as well. Good covered areas for work, in your work areas. Just looking down there's a vet crush and branding cradle and so forth. And as you can see, all good timber yards. Handles about 160 head of cattle. Basically whatever you'd be doing and mustering a typical paddock in the place, handle it, no trouble at all. And it's also a good a feeder area for weaners. Once again, buyers, just looking at this property here. Now we're not on any real high area here, but this will give you a look back out over that country, and you can see the sort of views that are available looking back at those volcanic plugs out in the back there, and coming back around on all these creeks and gullies. As I said, the beautiful drainage, ideal for a subdivision block in the long term in the future. But there you are, buyers. That'll give you an idea of what we're talking about. If you're interested in having a look at this and interested in investing in something worthwhile for the long term, and you know, you'll run your 160 head of cattle here, no trouble at all at the moment. You'll run more with further work, a bit more development, which the vendor is about to do. Certainly you'll be well and truly up to date with everything, and run a good little mob of cattle while you're waiting to get a return on your investment. Okay, give us a call. Love to bring you up and show you over.